In this video today, we're going to be discussing Mercury retrograde in the sign of Aries and all of the evolutionary implications of this energy. In particular, the relationship to Chiron and Aries and to the total solar eclipse that we just experienced in Aries. So if you enjoy astrology, if you enjoy learning about the collective astrology and how it is that the planets and the portals and energetic openings that they create are affecting not only the entire collective, but you individually, then you are going to enjoy this video. So let's get right into it. Mercury goes retrograde multiple times a year, and this is the first full retrograde of Mercury of 2024. Although Mercury did end 2023 in retrograde, so that energy carried over into the very beginning of 2024. In some regards, we might consider that the first Mercury retrograde of 2024, but we're filing that under 2023 because that's when it began. So this is the first absolute complete retrograde that Mercury will be having in the year of 2024. And these Mercury retrograde times are very significant. They are a time when Mercury appears to stand still and then change direction in the sky. And this is, of course, all relative from our perception from Earth, which makes sense when we think about the fact that Mercury represents perception. It represents communication, the ways that we perceive and organize information, and the ways that we share that information with others. It's all a recalibration. It's a revisitation of energies, an opportunity to see and experience energies from a different perspective. And it is a deep period of integration. This particular Mercury retrograde is especially powerful when it comes to that integration piece, because what it's assisting us in integrating are the downloads, the breakthroughs, the healing, the activations, everything that we received from this powerful, powerful total solar eclipse of Aries that occurred at 19 degrees of Aries, exactly conjunct Chiron, with Mercury only a few degrees away. So Mercury began its retrograde at 27 degrees of Aries on April 1st, 4 days before the 4-4 portal. And this energy of the 4s and the 8s, we've been talking about quite extensively on this channel. So if you want to learn more about that and you're just digging the vibe here, go ahead and subscribe right now so you don't miss anything else and you can catch up on everything that you may have missed so far. But 4 days before that 4-4 portal, and then, of course, 8 days before the 4-8 total solar eclipse. So after the solar eclipse, Mercury is going to continue to move in its retrograde pattern. And on April 15th, Mercury will come into exact conjunction with Chiron. So this is our first check-in point where these energies are concerned, where this powerful breakthrough, this powerful understanding relating to our healing journey primarily with Chiron, we're getting a deeper look at. We're perhaps having some deeper insights unfold. I'm also feeling where Mercury is in the sign of Aries, which represents that first house, which represents the physical body, among other things, self-awareness, our idea of ourself, the way we present ourselves and the way we view the world, and also our physical bodies. I'm feeling that we are going to be integrating. This is a powerful point of physical integration for the downloads and for the cellular and DNA activations that we received during the total solar eclipse. So this is beautiful, profound, and powerful stuff. So we have this first integration point on the 15th of April, which will be occurring a few days after this video is posted, as I am making this a little late. There was just so much going on this month that I didn't get it out before the retrograde started, but that's okay because we're still within it. And we're going to be experiencing these energies really until May 13th, because that's when Mercury comes out of shadow. And I'll explain what that means in just a moment. So on the 24th, 42424, that is when Mercury stations direct and then appears to be moving forward once more in the sky. And when Mercury comes back into contact with 27 degrees of Aries, where this retrograde began, that is when we move out of the shadow period. So as Mercury stations retrograde, our thoughts begin to become a bit more fluid. We begin to kind of be revising, seeing things from different angles. That's why they recommend no big life changes during a Mercury retrograde, because we're looking at things from a different vantage point. We're getting a different point of view to help us understand and integrate on a mental and intellectual level. So we want to allow this sorting through period to happen, this revising, this looking at things, looking back over things, It's kind of that energy of making sure that we crossed our T's and dotted our I's kind of thing. And then once Mercury stations direct, our thinking becomes a bit more direct again, as well as our communication. But we're still in a little bit of a flux period. And we come out of that final sort of haze, if you will, once Mercury moves to that original point where it began the retrograde and then continues forward from there. So that's going to happen on the 13th of May. And the 24th of April is when that stationing direct begins, and Mercury will station direct at 16 degrees of Aries. So just a few degrees away from Chiron still, within conjunction range. So we're feeling that energy of Chiron just really powerfully pulsing through that period of stationing direct, really influencing. I see it almost like sending out these beautiful ripples of energy just to continue to like assist us in that process of breaking through, in that process of, it feels like there was a breakthrough point with the solar eclipse, but the full impact and understanding and integration on an intellectual level of that breakthrough, it's kind of like it happened in our cellular structure first. It happened in our cellular structure, in our energy bodies, in our subconscious first, and it's slowly beginning to ripple out into our consciousness. And Mercury retrograde motion is assisting us in that process of bringing it through from the superconscious and the subconscious into the conscious level. And that's a process that's going to really reach its finality as we move perhaps out of the shadow period, but we're going to feel this coalescing of it as Mercury begins to stations direct on the 24th and then begins moving forward. So it's like this energy happens in stages. It's working its way through our consciousness, into our awareness, and then we're able to really apply it in our lives moving forward as we move into direct motion, and then furthermore as we move out of the shadow period. We have another check-in point happening before the shadow period ends on the 4th of May. Now, on the 4th of May, Mercury will hit that 19 degrees of Aries point where Chiron is located again, this time moving in forward motion. And so this is really powerful because this is, all right, yeah. So this is where that understanding is really coalescing within us, where it's filtered down into our consciousness in a more concrete way, is when Mercury comes back into conjunction with Chiron again on the 4th. Just one day, and here we have the energy of the 4s again, right? But one day also before the 5-5 portal. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the portals, it's when we have these series of repeating numbers here. And if you want to understand more about the portals that are at play right now and how they're at play, check out the video that I did on the connection of the solar eclipse to the 888 Lionsgate portal. I'll link that at the end of this video, as well as probably a tarot video where I pull some cards on this energy. So we have this breakthrough, this final filtering into the awareness right before that 5-5 portal, which is, of course, the portal that represents change. So in that period from the 5-5, we're now in this energy where we're beginning to prepare ourselves to take action upon the things that have the awareness of the breakthrough. Like we're able to take that from this new sense of awareness to action, right? To a new plan of action. So really, really beautiful, powerful stuff. Another couple things to know about this retrograde, significant dates here. On the 18th of April, just a couple days after one of these conjunction points with Chiron, right, we have a conjunction with Venus. So here we have Mercury retrograde conjunct Venus. So this is going to be a powerful point when it comes to our energies of self-love, when it comes to the ways, especially that with Venus and Aries here, that we communicate and assert our wants and our needs, where we take action around self-care, around the energies that are loving to ourselves, where we understand our own relationship to our own self-worth, and our own relationship to our desire nature, the things that we deeply desire. And this almost feels like on a primal level, because Venus and Aries ruled by Mars representing in some respects our primal nature. It's like those primal needs, wants, and desires. and the ways that we go about actualizing those, or the ways that we have failed to actualize those in the past, and how it is that it begins this process of us trying to get a deeper understanding of how we can actualize those deeper primal needs, wants, and desires moving forward from here. So that's going to be a big, big date. Another important date here is going to be when Mercury conjuncts the sun again after its retrograde. Mercury, actually on the day that I'm filming this video, will be conjunct the sun in its retrograde motion. So this would be on the 11th of April. The next time that Mercury conjuncts the sun going direct, this is a big breakthrough moment as well, because when Mercury is retrograde conjuncting the sun, we see this almost as Mercury moving behind the sun, Mercury moving behind the ego, behind the consciousness, right? And then as Mercury conjuncts the sun again, now in the sign of Gemini, on the 14th of June, there's something, there's like a brightening, there's an awakening, there's an activation, as Mercury is now once again in front of the sun. And there's just a powerful activation and alignment of energy that I'm feeling here, especially with Mercury in one of the signs of its rulership, the sign of Gemini. So this is going to be really beautiful energy. It's going to be really where perhaps we are inspired to communicate something to someone. We're inspired to share our voice in a new way. There's something beautiful and fresh about this energy. And we'll examine it more as we get closer to this point. And that's going to be occurring at 22 degrees of Gemini, which is a really powerful degree. And so, I want to feel into this for a second, how I'm feeling this energy of Mercury conjunct the sun at 22 degrees of Gemini. It's like a powerful chapter opening. It's a powerful initiatory energy for some people in some sense as well. 22 can be seen as a malefic degree when we're looking at a degree astrology, degree theory here. But I'm seeing it as a breakthrough. I'm seeing it as an opportunity to have a powerful breakthrough in the ways that we interact with people, in the ways that we share information with others, in the ways that we share our individual voice, and the ways that we allow ourselves to shine. And where this happens in your chart, of course, at 22 degrees of Gemini, you can look at that point in your own natal chart to understand more how these energies might be affecting you in particular, and where that breakthrough may be happening for you, where the sun is going to be shining on your consciousness and on your being, so to speak, and where it is that you are most able to shine by projecting your ideas, sharing your voice, sharing your beauty. What I want people to know and understand regarding all of this energy is that nothing is ever completed, right? There's a cyclical, spiraling nature to our evolution, to our experience as a soul, to our experience on this planet, to our healing journeys. And so as we move through this dance between Chiron and Mercury, and then this dance continues on, right? It's never really over. This is simply one aspect, but a powerful aspect within that healing journey concerning these Aries energies, concerning these Chiron energies. And so don't put too much pressure on it. Don't make it bigger than it is by like freaking out, right? Which we can sometimes do, like, oh my God, I don't feel like I'm having a breakthrough. What is Kassia talking about? It's not coming through for me. Or I feel like I'm just rehashing stuff. Remember, that's part of this process of growth and evolution. We come back, and a lot of us who are here to break ancestral lineage, to create these new templates for like the 5D human, the 5D earth, right? Those of us who are, I almost wanted to say the code breakers. That's interesting. Because we're breaking through the old coding of the matrix, right? We're breaking through the old programming of humanity. And those of us who came here to assist in doing this, to be the trailblazers for that, so to speak, we tend to go back into these wounded cycles almost more often than other people sometimes. But the difference is, somebody who's just staying stuck in their wounds is going back into those cycles unconsciously, and they're never really coming out of them, right? They're just experiencing them over and over again. Those of us who are here to break those cycles, we come out of them, right? With this new perspective, we live our lives differently, and then we might get pulled back in And every time we're getting pulled back in, it's because we're doing a deeper level of clearing for ourselves and also for the collective. So just know when you're pulled back in, but you're still holding awareness, you're still observing and watching these cycles, and then you're pulling yourself back out of them again and liberating your consciousness, liberating your energy to an even greater extent than it was liberated the first time. That's when you know that you are in this period of growth. You are in this period of healing, and you are essentially breaking those cold codes, breaking those old templates. So that's how you know the difference. And for some people, like, that is what we're doing. A lot of people that find my videos, we are all part of this collective who is doing that. So don't be hard on yourself. Just know, watch, observe, and when you notice yourself repeating, decide to do something else. And every time you're going to pull yourself out of this energy a little bit faster, and you're going to feel that much more empowered and inspired afterwards. All right. So those of us who took this on, this is a big, big job. This is not none of this, right? Being a human on this planet right now, being incarnated in a human body or in any form on this planet, right? Plant, mineral, animal. It is not for the weak of heart. Okay, I hate that. I don't like that term. It is not for the faint of heart. There we go. All right, this is the big leagues down here right now as we are moving through the most powerful ascension window this planet has ever experienced. Okay, so give yourself some credit. Know that you are doing an amazing job. If nobody else told you today, then let me be the one to tell you. You are doing an amazing job. You are beautiful. You are powerful. Thank you for your service to the collective, to this planet, and thank you for being gentle with my friend. And my friend that I am speaking of is, of course, you. And if you're not being gentle with you, consider this your opportunity to do so, because we have to be gentle. Well, we don't have to do anything, right? But it's going to be a lot more, it's going to be a much more pleasant journey through all of this healing, through all of these collective wounds that we are releasing, if we are able to be gentle with ourselves, to treat ourselves the way we would treat a child or the way we would treat our best friend. All right. I love you. I honor you. I respect you. If you want any assistance in this journey, please reach out to me. All of my information is in the description box below. And also, if you like the vibe and you're still watching this video, you are absolutely part of the tribe. So go ahead and click subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let me know how you're feeling these energies. And absolutely, please go ahead and like this video. I'll talk to you all soon.